My name is Craig Ferguson. The name of this podcast is Joy. I talk to interesting people about what brings them happiness. Welcome to the Kid Super Studios here in Brooklyn, New York. My name is Craig Ferguson, and I'm your host today on the Joy podcast. My guest today is, she's got some great stories about her mentor, Joan Rivers. I saw her on Saturday night at the Village Underground in New York, and she is as raw and as fantastic a comedian as she ever was. Please welcome Lynne Koplitz. Enjoy. So when did you come to New York then? Because I always thought you were a New Yorker. Until Saturday night, when I saw you Saturday night and you were saying, I have to go see my mom in Florida, I was like, I thought you lived in New York.
I was born in New York,
right,
in Long Island, and we left when I was like 7 or 8. And I always came back. My birth dad lived here.
Right.
But yeah, I grew up in Sarasota. We moved to Sarasota when I was about 10.
See, now I have to know about, because you're the type of stand-up, when I saw you do stand-up on Saturday night, right? And I'm like, Jesus.
And I saw you, and you were brilliant.
Oh, you were brilliant. And here's the thing as well, though. We were at the Village Underground, which I'd never been to before.
Do you love it?
Oh my God, that place is great.
It's great.
It's unbelievable. And people have been telling me, go to the Comedy Cellar, go to the Village Underground, which is kind of like, it's the same complex, right?
It's the same family.
Right. And I was like, yeah, I've heard about it. And it's amazing. It's an amazing place. How long have you been doing it?
I mean, as long as it's been up.
It's been like I've been hearing about it since I feel like the 90s or something.
Well, I've been there. I've been at the Cellar probably about 25 years. So when they really started making it, I want to say it was about 30 years ago when they started really, where they were having big audiences. And then it just grew. So you're part of the Comedy Cellar, and then there's like 5 rooms.
Right.
So it's all, I always say it's like, am I performing in the bedroom, the living room, or the garage, or, like they all have different.
The room I was in felt like it was a reasonable sized room. It was like,
it's huge.
Yeah, it's a pretty big room. But the Cellar itself is smaller?
Much smaller.
All right.
But it's like the more prestigious.
Oh, those bastards, they told me the Village Underground was prestigious. So
but it's very intimate. I always say that people who come to see comedy at the Cellar are your diehard. They're the same people. ST makes fun of me, but I'm like, they're the same people who go on safaris. Like they want to be this close to wild animals.
Oh, right.
Because, comics, we're a surly lot. We're not always the nicest. People. And people think, I want to be right up front. And I always say,
you don't.
You really don't. Not with all of us. Like, these are the best comics in the world. And they're surly. I mean, they could just look at you and think you look mad or something. And then they're like, attack you.
I think that's, when I was when I was listening to your act and watching your act on Saturday, and I was like, this is not an act though. This is like, It is an act because it's stage work and you're doing it, but you're not pretending. Do you know what I mean? It's not, at least I didn't feel like it. Like when you were talking about, your boyfriend and sex and stuff, I was like, oh my God.
And he does have Bell's palsy.
He really does have Bell's palsy?
It's almost better.
Yeah?
Well, he's fine.
I like that you dismiss it because he's not here to, but did you think he had a stroke? Yeah, because that Bell's palsy is a thing where
it looks like a stroke, but we knew right away it was Bell's palsy.
How do you know right away?
He went to the doctor.
All right. He didn't
to the emergency room.
Do you smell toast and taste pennies and stuff if you get Bell's palsy?
I always say that I always say that I sometimes I just, like, if the lights blink, I always say, I smell toast. Is my grandma coming? Am I having a stroke? I see grandma. But no, he didn't. It wasn't. The reason I'm mean about it is because he said I gave it to him. And then all his friends thought I gave him Bell's palsy by stressing him out.
Really? Yeah, I don't feel like that's how it works, is it?
It doesn't. You absolutely can't do it.
How do you get Bell's palsy then?
It's like a viral thing.
All right. Maybe you had it in your breath. Did you have it in your breath?
Oh my God, you're such an idiot.
I don't know. Is it like COVID or something? Which may or may not exist?
No, I looked it up.
Don't know.
You cannot give it to anyone with words or breath or anything.
Right, okay. How do you, it's a viral thing that you get from what, like
it's
a
like
toilet seat or
shingles
something?
And things like that.
Shingles? I've had shingles. Have you had shingles?
No.
It's the worst.
They're the worst.
It's like, it feels like shingles, it sounds like it should be nice. Doesn't it?
Like on a roof.
Shingles. And you got shingles? It's delightful.
It sounds like, you're right. It's like tingles.
Tingles, but it's not tingles, it's shingles.
It's hideous.
I think herpes has got the same problem. Herpes, and it's a similar thing.
I think they can all kind of go in the same categories.
But herpes sounds like it would be nice. Like herpes.
Like a hairpiece.
Yeah, like a hairpiece. Did your boyfriend have a hairpiece?
No.
Okay.
But he got this. So anyway, what you asked me is my act.
Well, I felt like when I was watching you that it was all real life. It was very raw. I mean, obviously it was.
You too, right?
Yeah, no, I do. Well, but that's the kind of stuff I respond to.
Me too.
I do comedy in the way that I think it's going to make me laugh, like or the style that would make me laugh, which is raw and truthful, but sometimes. I was watching. I was like, oh my God, I don't know if I could go that far. Like when you were talking
and
about.
And you want to know, there's other things I want to talk about.
Yeah.
That I haven't approached yet. So it always tickles me when someone are like, boy, you're really going the edge. I'm like, oh no, I have other things I want to talk about that I haven't touched yet. And I'm just waiting to get ready for them. And what were you going to say? I'm sorry.
No. I was just saying, it's interesting because, you were talking about the
telling men to kill themselves?
Well, there was that. Yeah, I did notice. I was like, I don't know how. I mean, in context, and it's fine. And it's one of the great things. It's one of the things I admire about Anthony Jeselnik as well. He says things like, this is a terrible thing to say, but because he does it so skillfully, and you do the same stuff. It's like you do it so skillfully that it's not a terrible. You change it in some way.
I'm in the center of it.
Right.
So I tend to talk about things that make me a victim, and then I'm the victor.
Right. So you give yourself adversity and then triumph over it. So it's a feel-good type thing.
Yeah. Like so this middle-aged man dates me.
Right.
And I tell him, listen, if we're going to be intimate, what I say on stage sometimes, like when I do an hour, is that I was celibate up until I had been celibate for 4 years.
Had you really?
We started dating.
Was
I
that
had wanted to
decision?
start over. Yeah, me and God. And I was like, I'm going to start fresh. And
so after 4 years, how long until you become a virgin again? It's like 18 months.
Exactly.
18 months?
That's right.
Right.
And no, I mean, I even went on a few dates and I was very clear. Like, I'm sorry, I used to be a bit of a whore dog, but not now.
Right. That must be very nice to hear when you're on a date with someone.
Right.
It's like, I used to be a whore, but not for you.
And it's over now.
You're like, I was really promiscuous and thanks, Ed, but not for you.
I would have done anything.
Yeah.
I would have done anything. Now, no, missionary.
Right.
But I have been real clear with him. So to me, what that joke is about, it's about a middle-aged woman kind of getting duped. Like all of a sudden, this middle-aged guy who's been saying, I want us to be together. We live together a little bit, is now saying, you know what? I changed my mind.
Oh, he doesn't want to do that anymore? But not in real life. I mean, you guys are still...
No, we're not. We're not. In real life, we're really not together anymore.
Great. Thanks, man.
But we are. Like, I'm tethered to him. So like, I'm going there.
Thanks,
we have stuff together. We bought house and stuff together.
Together.
We didn't buy a house together, but we had rented a place and all my stuff is in the house and his stuff it's all mingled. And so I'm staying there this summer.
Right.
He's not going to be there. He'll be in New Hampshire most of the time.
Right.
He's picking me up at the airport tomorrow. Like we're still in each other's lives.
What does he do? What's his background?
He's retired from Verizon.
Verizon? What
he worked like a cable guy. He was like a cable guy.
Oh.
He ran it. I love that.
Well, I love the idea. Yeah. Like you're like Jack Verizon or whoever it is. Is that who it is?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Which is also why when we get in big fights, I'm like, go back to your small potato life, loser. But he's mean too. Like, so we're.
Has he ever dated a comedian before?
No. He hasn't dated someone that lives in a city other than Boston. And Boston's a real city, but I'm talking about.
You said Boston like it's not a city. I'm like,
no, it is, but I'm talking not a city woman.
Right, because the women of Boston are what?
No, he's
rural?
not dated women from Boston.
Right.
He's dated women who lived in South Boston, Craig. I'm trying not to say it. Southie assholes.
So
I'm trying not to say it. I'm like, I don't want to be mean about him.
But you do, I'm sorry for pressing you about it. What I mean is this, is like, I am fascinated by comedians that seem to work out their own personal issues on stage, because that is how I do it. But what I've noticed is, because when I was doing it, I used to do that late night too. I was just like, whatever was fucking happening.
I loved watching your monologues and stuff, because you just talked about it.
Right. But the problem with that is that people know it. You forget. And then people will come over and they'll say things like, I said something on late night years ago, and I don't remember saying it. Like
no, I have that too.
Yeah.
People will tell me tags that aren't.
Like
I don't ever remember saying them.
Yeah, like they say a punchline to a joke that you've never told.
That I never told.
You don't remember telling.
Or
anyway.
they just add something to it that is not, like they changed it.
But I think people hear what they want to hear. Like, and they change it in their mind.
Right.
Like I do this too. Like when Leonard Nimoy died.
Yeah.
I was talking to my wife.
What?
Yeah, we died, and I was like, oh man, the original Mr. Spock, he was so awesome. I wish I'd had him on late night. And we looked up, and he'd been on twice. I have no recollection.
Well, when I saw you the other night, I'm like, so one of the people who work at the cellar goes, Fred Ferguson's here.
Fred Ferguson.
And I go, okay, good for him. And she goes, no, isn't he your friend? And I go, Fred Ferguson?
Fred Ferguson.
I don't even know who the hell that is.
Do you know?
And she goes, you don't know Fred Ferguson. I thought he was your friend. And I go, no, if I knew, if this person was my friend, you
didn't make a connection.
Well, you opened for him. I go, oh, Fred Ferguson's a comic? And she goes, yeah. And now I go, what do you mean I opened for him? It's because you opened for him. I thought you guys, I worked at comics when he was there, and it looked like you guys really liked each other. I go, I don't know who this is. So she goes, turn around. He's right here. I turn around. I go, it's Craig Ferguson. She goes, oh, what's the difference? And I go, a whole person.
Yeah, that is, to me, there's a difference. I feel like Fred, Craig, I once went to a birthday party. It was a surprise birthday party. Somebody it was actually Carrie Fisher threw me a birthday party in Los Angeles. And it was all like celebrities were there and all that. And they got a cake. And the cake turned up and it said, happy birthday, Crane Kilborn. Crane Kilborn. Didn't even get one of my names right. And it was the guy who I took over from. Happy birthday, Crane Kilborn. I'm like, for fuck's sake, Carrie. She went, well, I didn't look at the cake. I just ordered the cake. I just said, get Craig a cake.
I was going to say, I thought she was funny. But
Carrie was the good. Did you ever meet Carrie?
No, but she missed the joke. She should have said, calm down, Crane.
Calm down, Crane. She called me Crane for a long time after that. You guys would have loved each other.
We would have loved each other.
You would have loved each other. She was very...
Many people told me, and I think people told her, because I had so many people tell me, I can't believe you haven't met Carrie Fisher.
I can't believe it myself. I mean, it seems odd to me because you would have been... Either you would have been great friends or deadliest enemies.
No, we would have loved each other.
Yeah, I think you would have.
Joan Rivers was like my mentor. She was like...
I was going to ask you about that because Joan... There's a whole thing with Joan. I never met Joan Rivers. And she's like my favorite comedian. I honestly think maybe my favorite stand-up comedian of anyone I've ever seen. Like for me, she's up there with Richard Pryor and,
Definitely.
I mean, she's just insane. How did you guys meet up?
She was a groundbreaker. I was doing a TV show called Z-Rock about a band, and it was on the IFC channel, and they wanted Joan on it. And I had done the pilot, and she watched the pilot and said, I'll do it if I can. I got to work with that woman.
Really?
So they said, okay. And they made her my aunt, which turned out to be a nightmare for them because she was playing my aunt, but she was playing Joan Rivers, who just happened to be my aunt. And it was a loosely scripted show, so we improv'd a lot. And when I met her, I walked in, I was very thin then, and I walked in and she said, oh, I've never seen the camera take weight off of somebody. And the whole room went quiet. And I looked at her and I went and started laughing. And she goes, come here, you thick-skinned comic. And she gave me a hug.
That's great.
And she said, I always do that to see who I'm dealing with.
She told the greatest joke I've ever heard.
Which one?
Well, one of the greatest jokes I've ever heard. There's a couple, but when she was on Fashion Police, and remember Ryan Lochte, the swimmer?
Yeah.
And he got into like terrible trouble. He was getting into terrible trouble all over the place. And she said, Ryan Lochte is like my vagina. When it's dry, the magic is gone. And I went, oh my God.
Well, you know, at her funeral, Howard Stern told her, I think, one of her best vagina jokes ever.
What's that?
He said, Joan Rivers had a very dry vagina. This was the first words out of his mouth at her funeral. It had a very dry vagina. And he goes, I know this because she told me all the time. And he said, and she told me once, Howard, my vagina is so dry that if Whitney Houston had it, she'd be alive today.
Jesus.
But my favorite old joke.
That's a terrible thing to say.
But my favorite old joke of hers, it was corny. It's corny. People always look at me like I'm corny, but I just love the joke. She goes, I'm so old. When I was a child, the Dead Sea was sick.
That's a great joke.
It's a brilliant, and she wrote it, and it's a brilliant, brilliant joke.
But what's interesting to me, and this is the thing I picked up on when I was, because I remember your act being, the material wasn't the same, but your style was similar 20 years ago. I mean, you were still raw, you were still, working like that. And when I was watching a lot of the other comics.
I was much more TV friendly. I was much more like, I want everyone to like me. Now I'm like,
I think that's when you're young, you kind of get
now I'd rather
like
the comics laugh.
Well, I think if you're making the comics laugh, you're kind of doing something right. I mean, you're hitting a definite demographic, and it's probably a very dark one, because I think comedians...
Don't you think you hit a point, like, excuse me for interrupting, but as an artist, I'm definitely now I've evolved where I'm that artist. Like, when you knew me, I was the artist that was still willing to paint murals in people's houses.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, what? They want me to paint the couch green so it matches their couch in the picture? Tell them to go fuck off.
Yeah.
I'm never doing that. So now that's, if someone goes, can you not do that joke? I'm like, no, I can just leave.
Yeah, I have to do the joke. I don't know. I mean, I feel like there gets to a point where you just kind of like, I can't fucking make everyone happy. I can't, I mean, my job is to make people laugh, but not necessarily make them happy, and
that's a good point.
Yeah, I don't find this joke offensive. Well, okay, that's good. Or I do find this joke offensive. Well, that's good. But there's a lot of talk recently about you can't say this and you can't say that, or you get into trouble. And I was like, it's always been like that.
But my point is Joan had a rule, and I think about it all the time. She said, talk about whatever you want. Just make sure it's funny.
Yeah. I think that's the thing
undeniably funny.
Undeniably funny is right, because there is that, but there's now the situation. Well, I don't know if it there was a little moment there where certain things you weren't allowed to even. I felt like you weren't even meant to talk about.
Well, you're talking about throwing your kid in the pool.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
and I was screaming, laughing. It's so funny, and it's how when we were kids. That's how you learn to swim.
How you learn to swim.
You're lucky if you got thrown in. Usually you just got kissed. Someone drinking a beer and shoved you with their foot.
Yeah, a lot of kids didn't make it. But
we got a floater.
Yeah,
but even when you said it the other night, I could see people going, "Oh, why did you?" But they're just sensitive now.
I think so, but I think they go
looking for it. But you fixed it. You made it funny immediately.
Right. And I think the thing is, as well, is that I think people go, particularly places like the Cellar, the Village Underground, all that stuff, I think people go there with the expectation that I am going to be tested by, I am going to hear stuff that I don't want to hear. And that's part of the fun. I think it's been folded into it that now I think that's okay. I think to feel that sense of danger. Like you mentioned Attell. Attell's always been one of my favorite comics.
Mine too.
Because I watch Dave Attell sometimes and I think, I don't know, Dave, I can't go. God damn it, he made me laugh again. I mean, he's...
And Dave Attell, it's funny because I'm not usually a fan of comics that I don't know something about at the end of their act. I can appreciate that Jerry Seinfeld is a master at what he does. At observational comedy, he's one of the very best. But I don't enjoy watching him.
Right.
His comedy.
Right.
His TV shows and stuff I love.
Right.
He's a great writer.
Sure.
But it's just not my cup of tea.
Right.
Ellen is the same way. Ellen DeGeneres. But that Boston style of comedy where they're like, and then I killed the guy. Like, I never find that funny. You didn't do it.
You didn't kill the guy.
You know, and
that's the difference between Boston and New York comedy then. In New York, you have to actually have killed the guy.
If you say I killed the guy,
you have to kill the guy.
Like,
no, he
you
did
really
actually
think
do that.
Lynne might have killed that guy.
Yeah.
You know, like, there's some opinion. There's, you think when you're watching me, she might have actually told this guy to kill himself.
Oh, yeah, I thought you might have, yeah.
No, I would be very sad if he killed himself.
Yeah, of course you would.
Yeah. But that's where I push it. You know, it's you know how it is. You do it too. It's where fantasy.
Right, you mess around with it. You mess around with it, with the reality of it. That's all right. I mean, it's called a poetic license, I suppose.
And for me, it's always believable. My situation, like I have a joke where I'm talking about young feminists. And I wanted to see, I did it because they traditionally have been annoying me a lot. So I thought, I wonder if I can talk about them and still win them. Because young women love me.
Right.
And I think it's because I tell the truth.
Well, I saw you were doing crowd work with a couple of girls in the front row, the young women in the front row.
No
on
matter
Saturday
what I say,
night.
Craig, they never hate me.
They were great. They loved you.
We love you. We love you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, shut up. I don't want your love. We love you so much.
Yeah.
They're like little puppies. But I think it's because there's an auntie quality to me. Like she's telling us the truth.
Yeah.
She's on our side. She's going to protect us. And so my whole joke is about, do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, sure.
It's just about the feminism thing where I go, there is a young, if you haven't met young New York feminists yet, they're very, they're not like the old school feminists. They're very like right in your face and growly. And I said, so one jumps in front of me with a clipboard recently and she's like, what have you done for women today? And I go, well, I'm not going to punch you in the throat. So that's one thing. And then I do this whole thing about getting behind this young girl because I know my days of free drinks and having doors held open are very long gone. But I'm like, this young, fertile girl is going to the bank where the doors are heavy and my arms are not what they were. And I'm like, I'm going to get behind her like a little car getting behind a big semi in a storm. This bitch is going to save my life. So I get behind her and she stops. This is true story. This is based on a true story. She stops cold and she says to the guy holding the door, I can get my own door. Thank you very much. And I'd never seen it. Have you seen it in real life?
It's happened to me.
Really?
It's happened to me. I'll tell you about it in a minute.
So I go, well, I can't. Excuse me, pardon me. I kind of walk past. So then I go, I'm telling this joke, true story again, at the cellar, at the little room. And a girl in the front row goes, yes. And I go, you know what? What are you yesing? And she goes, she told him. She told him, we can get our own doors and we can buy our own food and we don't need men trying to take our power. And I turned to her and now I say to the audience, let me tell you something. No one can take your fucking power. You got to give it to them. And that usually gets an applause break. And I go, you girls are not looking at this the right way. The way I see it is they owe me that. They owe me holding the door, buying me dinner. I go, you know why? Because we've been blowing these guys for centuries. I am kneeling on the shoulders of my ancestors. and I go, somewhere in my line, someone in my family probably sucked the dick of some guy coming back from World War I.
Exactly.
With ticker tape on it. I go, then I'm sure I have some pilgrim ancestor that was like, when I'm done churning this butter and Ezekiel gets home, I got to breathe out of my nose for 4 minutes. And I'm like, I'm sure I've got some cave woman relative that was just, and he pokes her on the shoulder and she's like, oh. I go, so you owe me reparations. And I talk about my boyfriend and all that, but it kills with the girls. And it starts me not being nice to them, but like you said, then I empower them.
Yeah. And I think that is it's very interesting to watch you work because it is, I mean, it's funny that you mentioned Joan because I got that kind of like style vibe from you as well. Like the idea was like, I will go at people, you know, I will make fun of somebody, I will have a go at someone, but it's always really me who I'm going at, which is very smart and how it works, I think. As far as the holding the door open thing, that happened to me in LA. It was a gate at the school Well, when one of my kids was young, and I held the gate open for one of the moms in the school, and she was pretty angry. Maybe she was having a tough day. I mean, everybody's tired. They have little kids. But she walked by me and she went, "I don't need you to hold the door open for me." And kind of like, I was like, I didn't hold it open for you. I held it open for my mom. You were just there.
You should have just said, "That's how you get hit." Just so you know.
I probably
Hey, lady, that's how you get 5 across the face.
But here's the thing. It's funny though, because the idea, and you've touched on this, and I'm interested in this, and you mentioned Ellen as well, because Ellen got into a lot of trouble because it turns out she's not as nice in real life as she is on
I've
TV.
heard. I don't know her, but
well, I've met her a couple of times. She seemed very nice to me. I don't know. I mean, I was meeting her in a TV studio. I've got certainly no Ellen stories, but what I was kind of fascinated by is that people will say this about anyone. Like if you meet anyone famous, anyone at all, they say, were they nice? Like I don't need like I don't know. I don't need Jimmy Page to be nice. I don't need. He plays a guitar. Let him play the guitar. If he's not nice, I don't fucking care.
You have to be super talented to not be nice.
To not be nice? I suppose you do, actually. Because I think that seems to be the thing that most people want, is for you to be nice. And the truth is, I'm nice sometimes. A lot of the time I think I'm nice, and sometimes I'm probably a dick. I know I am.
Well, so for me, one story about a celebrity does not make them who they are.
Right.
Like if someone tells me...
I think for a lot of people it does, though. I mean...
Yeah, but it shouldn't, because everybody's a person.
Yeah.
So yes, you're allowed to even react to her.
Yeah.
And say, oh, well, next time I definitely won't.
Yeah.
Or, whatever, because maybe you're having a bad day and you tried to be nice and she was a jerk about it. I'm not saying you should be like that, but I'm saying but that doesn't define who you are. So I was just about to say to you about Ellen, I've heard that she can be prickly, but I don't know her, so I reserve that. Like,
right,
I don't,
right.
I've said to people, I'm not going to judge this person because I don't know him. Now, there are other celebrities where I'm like, oh yeah, he's an asshole.
Yeah.
But I know him.
Yeah, you know they're an asshole.
And I will tell him to his face he's an asshole.
Yeah, I think it's a weird thing. I remember I was once changing planes at Denver. You know how Denver, like you do road work, you know how bad Denver Airport is.
I hate Denver. It's I got stuck. The only one I ever got stuck at.
Christ, I hate Denver Airport so much. Do you know if you see it from the sky, it kind of looks like a swastika as well? Do you know
I'm
that?
not surprised.
Yeah,
I hate it. And the people at the Denver Airport, have you ever noticed this? They're so crazy. Yeah. Like there's no like sides of the street walking. Like
no,
everyone looks frazzled, like they're racing to a sale.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like Black Friday every day, and
well, not Black Friday. It is a swastika.
Well, yeah, but it's like Black Uniform Friday. But I was getting off. I was changing planes or something at Denver Airport, and I bumped to this guy from Africa. It was my fault. And this African guy bumped me. He was wearing the full, like all the African gear and stuff. And I bumped into him. I was kind of embarrassed, and I stumbled a little bit. And he went to help me. He was a younger guy, and he went to help me with my case because I was kind of falling over a little bit, and I was like, and I pulled away from it. I was tired. I was a jerk. And he went, I'm helping you with your case. What a jerk. And I was like, oh no. And I started walking away, and I thought, God, I am a jerk. And I was looking around.
Did you go find him?
I was trying to find him to apologize for being a jerk, and I couldn't find him. So I think probably he watches this podcast, and now he'll know that. No, he won't, because he'll think I'm a jerk. He's like, I'm not watching that.
I was going to say, he'll know you're doing it. He's not going to want to listen.
No, he'll hate me. But the truth is, he didn't know who I was. He just thought I was a jerk in Denver Airport. And you know what? For that moment in time, I fucking was a jerk in Denver Airport. But
he might have known. That's the weird part about TV and stuff.
Right.
Because I was nice to a lady in the airport one time. She had a kid who was screaming. And some mothers have that, they get that look like, this is the day I'm leaving the kid in the airport. And I saw the look, feeling, yeah. And she was frazzled, and she had an infant and a little 3-year-old that was going apeshit crazy.
I've been there, yeah.
And I had dog toys in my purse for my dog, so I was going home, and I just went and squeezed the ball, and the little 3-year-old turned and came walking over, and I threw the ball, and the kid came back, and I just played with the kid with this dog ball.
You're an angel from heaven,
and the mother
that's horrible being in the airport with a kid.
Well, how are you doing this? Not who are you, but how are you doing this? And I said, look, I'm not a mom. She goes, you must be a mom. And I said, no, I own a dog. But, how old's your kid? She goes, almost 3. And I said, Yeah, so aren't they kind of the same
kind of
right
like
now?
3-year-old and a dog. Yeah.
And anyway, I played with the kid and I sat on the floor and the mom said, "Don't you have one?" I go, "No, I have an hour." And I was just nice to this little kid. And I said, "Do you want to go somewhere? Do you want me to watch them? And do you have to pee or anything?" She said, "Seriously?" Like the look on her face, Craig, was like, no. Well, next thing I know, I get a call from my manager like a week later. And I gave the little, screaming one, the dog toy. And it really was a dog toy. That's what's so embarrassing. But my manager said, "Lynn, we have Google alerts on you. I want you to read something." And the woman knew who I was. She recognized me from TV with Joan and said, this woman was one of the nicest women. And when I was so flustered, but it was really sweet, but it made me go, oh shit. And then when I was on TV, I had other ones that were like, "I saw Lynne Koplitz today fighting with her boyfriend." And now most of them are like, "I think I saw you crying in the park." That's what people
But it's funny though, because I think now everybody, it used to be like if you were famous, you were in that kind of position. But no, that was very passive aggressive. So do you think I was passive aggressive?
No,
that was a little passive aggressive. It was like
you were talking, so I was off camera.
Yeah, right. All right. Yeah. Okay. So, I still think it was passive aggressive, but it used to be just like famous people would get that, like you walk around and like you do something dumb and get shamed. But now I think anyone, because everyone has a camera and everyone has, Instagram and all that kind of stuff, that anyone who does something dumb has the opportunity to go viral and be shamed.
Yeah, which is why I like to say to people, film it. I said, go ahead. I don't care. But I'm not you. You're famous.
You're famous.
I have to always say to myself, don't get mad at hecklers. You're talking to them.
Yeah.
And they feel comfortable with you.
Yeah.
And they feel like you want them to be part of this. So once in a while, I'll say, okay, you and I are done now. I'm going to go back to my own show.
Look, you've run into it as well. It's like when you see people that have expectations of how, that it's going to go and it's not going that way. I've done it. Look, I've done it myself. Did you watch Game of Thrones?
I love you. Yeah. Are you kidding?
Right. So Game of Thrones, I got a call from...
Did they shoot in Scotland?
Ireland. But I was in California and I get this call, or they asked me to host the Game of Thrones panel at Comic-Con in San Diego. I was like, sure, I love Game of Thrones. I'd never seen it, but then I watched all of it before I did it. Like it was all on DVDs and stuff like that. So I watched it all, and I get to the backstage at Comic-Con.
And then you were psyched once you watched it.
Oh, right. It was great. I love that show. And I'm backstage at Comic-Con and all the Game of Thrones people is there. And the actor who played Jaime Lannister, the super handsome guy.
Yeah. Oh, no.
He walked in and I went, oh, hey. And I hugged him.
I have so many of those. It's so embarrassing.
And I thought I knew him because I'd just been watching him on TV. And I went over and I hugged him. And then I hugged him and I felt him kind of like tense. And I was like, oh, shit, I've never met this guy in my life. And I had said, I'm sorry, I've never met you in my life, have I? And he went, no. But he was very
But did he know charming. Who you were? Of course.
Maybe. I don't know. But he did. But he was like,
of course.
I said, I'm so sorry. And he said, it happens more often than you would think. It's all right. And he was very, very sweet.
Oh, good. So he was nice.
He was nice. And that's the thing I have to tell you about the actor whose name I will insert later on. That guy. What's his name? He played Jamie. He's a fabulous actor. His name escapes me for the moment. Yeah, that. Yeah, Nicola.
That's about all.
Yeah. He was lovely. He was just lovely.
But there was another one that wasn't.
No, they were all pretty nice, actually.
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
They all seemed nice.
But I was the stalker is what I'm saying. I was the good. Do you ever go up to famous people you think you know and start talking to them, but you realize that
when I first moved to New York and I wasn't even... I wasn't on TV or a comic or anything. Right. I was an aspiring young actress. I used to I'd get on the subway and I would talk to soap stars all the time, thinking I knew them.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh, hi, how you doing? And they would usually say, oh, hi. and
Soap
think
stars
maybe
they got it the worst.
And they would think maybe I know her, and then I'd go, so Dixie, hi, it's good to see you. And she'd go, yeah, that's not my name. That's the character. And then I'd go, Dixie, oh my God, and I would usually be really bad. One time when I was young, people would sometimes say I looked a little bit like Cindy Crawford. Anyone watching this now, I do not look anything like her.
No,
now.
I feel like you did and you do.
When I was younger, I might have a little tiny bit. And one day I saw Steven Spielberg on the street and he was wearing an Amblin hat and
carrying an ET and so people would recognize him.
He saw me.
Right.
And he went, hey. And I was right by Ford Modeling Ages. He had every right in the world to think it was me. I mean, it was her. And he went, hey. And I go, hi. And we're crossing the street. And I thought, I wonder how long it's going to take for him to realize he doesn't know me.
Yeah.
Well, right as we got close, he went, the look on his face, Craig, like, I can't even, whatever, I just called it on. Like, whatever happens now.
Yeah, it's my fault.
I started this.
Yeah.
And I went, it's okay. And he goes, thank you. And he just walked away. And I actually thought, that was kind of sweet of him because he said,
is nice. I do know Steven Spielberg, and I have to report he is nice.
He was very sweet.
Yeah.
But he was very sweet to me. Like, thank you so much. Like he realized like she's nice. It was cute, but it was really funny because he started it. Like, can you imagine?
Yeah, I know. But I mean, look, I've done it, and sometimes people will say, "Hey, how you doing?" And you don't want to be rude, but they don't know you, so you're like, "Hey." That's why in LA now everybody says nice to see you instead of nice to meet you, or you never say nice to meet you to someone. You always say nice to see you, because nice to see you can be nice to meet you, or it can be nice to.
That's why in the South everyone says hey. They just go hey, because hey just means like I might know you, I might not.
I might not know you.
They call all the guys are always called guy.
Hey guy.
Hey guy.
Oh, I've been called that. I realize now that
guy usually means they don't know your name.
Yeah.
But women, I always call a guy handsome if I don't remember his name.
Oh,
hey, handsome.
That's
hey, good looking.
Yeah. So you can't do that if you're a guy because it'll be creepy.
You just call the woman skinny. Hey, skinny. Hey, skinny. Hey, pretty. We don't hear anything else.
All right. Hey, skinny.
Unless it's the woman you hold the door for, and then she's like, I can be fat if I want to be.
Oh, well, see, I didn't make any comment to this woman at all when I held the gate for her. I I didn't mean anything by it. Wasn't trying to oppress her. I just kind of didn't think about it.
Yeah, you weren't thinking, I'm going to take her power.
Right.
I have a new joke about walking down the street and the guy goes, smile. I bet you'd be a lot prettier. And I go, now, I don't know about you girls, but I love a command from a strange man. And I don't know. An emotional command. I always find that really nice.
But does that really still happen? I mean,
all the time. It just happened to me recently.
No.
Smile. You'd be a lot prettier if you did.
No one ever says that to
and
me.
I went
Maybe
like
I'm
this.
just pretty. Maybe
I did that.
That's kind of nice.
What, were you right?
I can't believe that still happens. Jeez.
It does. And it's hilarious to me. It's a good way to get yourself. Like I've even said on stage, like I'm like, please put an end to this misery of a career. Like go ahead, cancel me.
Oh my God.
Then I'm done. Because you can't get fired from stand-up.
You can't. Do you know, I noticed actually that some people that got cancelled actually started doing stand-up.
They start doing better. It is the craziest.
I know, it's like, if you get cancelled from being an actor or something, well, I'll go and do stand-up. You go, oh, so it's all right to be a stand-up.
Well, like, or they'll do this with me. Like, they'll go, oh, boo. And I go, listen, no. You really want to not see me do this anymore. Just don't make a noise. Just let's all sit and stare at each other. And then I can just be done. Like, go, please, I never should have gotten as far as I've gotten. It's been a long, I remember one time we were in the little room and I was telling jokes and there was silence from the men. Like I was saying something and all the men looked pissed. They were all kind of sitting. It was before I was as nuanced a comic as I am now. The women liked me. They were laughing, but the men were and I came off stage and I said to Jim Norton, goes, great set. And I go, oh God, no, the men hate me. And he goes, they're not asleep. And I said, what? And he goes, if they hate you, it's just as good as loving you. They're awake and they're listening. They can't get mad at you if they're not listening to you.
That's kind of smart. And
I said,
nothing wrong about that. That's true.
You're right.
Yeah.
And when we were talking about the truth, and I know you have to go, but one time I was doing stand-up, maybe 20 years ago. And everything was changing. I was getting older. And my jokes weren't working for me. Because I was getting older. It wasn't I looked like Cindy Crawford, blah, 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 blah. None of it was working.
Right.
And I put on weight again. I always go up and down. And I had these horrible like leggings on with a big shirt. I was in Kansas. And I said a little prayer and I said, God, I don't know what to do. Like, I just feel like a fraud. And Lynne Koplitz doesn't do well when she feels like a fraud. And I said, okay. And it was the first time I heard God say, tell the truth. So I walked out on stage and I said, this is what you look like when you start giving up. I'm not even doing comedy anymore. This is more of an unraveling. And then I started. And Jim Norton saw me again and he goes, real smart what you did. And I said, what do you mean? And he goes, you don't even have to do stand-up. If they don't laugh at you, who cares? You told them.
Yeah.
Up front, you're not doing that. You're not here for that. And then eventually I changed it to people ask me if I'm from Michigan. I'm like, no, this is what you look like when you give up.
Right.
It's the same look.
Which is a well-crafted joke.
Well, I turned them into jokes. But,
right. But it's always, you're the victim. You're the victim who becomes the victor. Victim who becomes the victor.
That's right. Right. This is what you look like when you start giving up. But you know what? I don't even care. I'm here to get fired. I'm just trying to get this stuff out. Take what you like, leave what you don't. And it's wild. But at this point in my life, I'm pretty blessed to be able to still be I'm not famous, but I'm a bit of a journeyman. I'm still doing it.
I think, the people that know about comedy and love comedy know exactly who you are and are always happy to see you on stage. And I'm definitely one of them. It's a joy to see you. Thanks for coming.
I got nervous to say hi to you the other night because I was like, what if he doesn't remember me? And I'm like,
that's so crazy. That's so
I know,
crazy.
But that's who we all are. We're neurotic weirdos.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
And then you were your beautiful, effusive, lovely self. So keep in touch with you now.
Try to be nice. I will keep in touch with you. Get out of here.
Okay.